Hey girls, welcome back to my channel. So it's been requested that I do a video on my gray hair journey. And I really didn't set out to go all gray, which is I'm in the process of doing, but it kind of just ended up that way. If you've been watching my second channel, Not Just a Beauty Blogger, I've been going through infertility treatments for the last 3 years. And it just got to the point where I just didn't feel like it was healthy to be putting dye in my hair every 2 weeks. And then it was like almost every week. So I decided, you know what, let's just see what happens. Now, you know from my videos that I had this gray stripe. I had this gray stripe here for, I let it out, I let it come out like at 35. I might have been seeing it like around 32. And when I would dye it, it would turn like a brassy color. Now, my hair has never been black. That's not my natural color. I'm actually like a chocolate brown. But I decided to start dyeing it myself, and then box color turned into like going darker, and then it was just I couldn't go back, and it was such a mess. So I would dye this piece and it would turn like a brass color and it looked terrible. It was like a reddish brown. Ugh. So I thought, you know what, I'm just gonna let it come out. So I did. I let it come out for well, you'll see if you go back to my very first videos, it was funny. I didn't have a white stripe, and then I did, and then I was like, oh, I can't stand it. And then I would dye it. So I went back and forth. Like I was like, okay, I like you, little stripe, and then like I don't like you. So that's how it all kind of first started. And then so it's 2015 in September is when my hair really like where I started seeing so much gray, and I thought, you know what, we're just gonna do it. And I researched it a lot on YouTube and Pinterest, and I really didn't see anyone my age. I mean, I was 38, 39. And I thought, gosh, everybody told me don't do it, you're gonna look so old. And I thought, you know, I really don't have a choice. But I gotta tell you, you mentally have to be prepared, and I don't think you're ever prepared for it, because seeing white and seeing a lot of white is just like, oh my gosh, what's happening? But I thought, you know, let me embrace it. I mean, I can't be the only woman that's like in her 30s going gray. And I thought, I'm just gonna do it. I hate to say I don't really care, because I do care, but I was like, after infertility and everything, I really don't. Like what am I gonna do? So right now, I cut it all off to a bob. As you can see, I thought this is 10 months of letting it grow out. So now I really thought it was going to be like all gray, you know, quickly, because I had so much of it. But you can see I have so much black in my hair. Still, the underneath is very gray though. All of this, and it's like a different texture. It's like this wiry texture. So sometimes my hair like will look fuller because it's like it's doing something weird. But people ask me all the time, did you do that? Did you highlight your hair? And I'm like, no, I did not do it. I would not highlight it to half of my hair. So I'm like the reverse ombre. So it's kind of like a joke now. My husband said to me, he's like, it's like geriatric in the front and party in the back. I'm like, we're not talking right now for a very long time. But I thought it was kind of funny. You have to have a sense of humor with it. So what I did is I just stopped dyeing it. I had to cut it off. You'll see my hair was really long before, and I thought, I can't be this black with this much hair and then having like gray come out. So I cut it off. I found a great hairstylist, and he cut it. It was actually a lot shorter, if you remember. I don't know if I did any videos with it really short, but it was shorter in March. I cut it in February, March. And I love it. I love how easy it is. I love the fact that, you know, it's more manageable than having long hair and having all that black hair. And when you're gonna go gray, I would just cut it. I honestly did think about doing a very short cut. I had done that once in my early 20s, and I thought, you know what, I think I need some of the black to like help me through it. I didn't want to cut it all off like super short, like Sharon Stone short, because then I thought I was gonna just show all the gray, and I don't know how that's gonna look. So I'm still kind of like working through it. But when I put my hair all the way back, it's all gray. I mean, it's like really, really gray. So you can see I look so much more gray with it back like this than I do when it's down. So during like working, I put it back like that, but that's why I keep it short, because I really don't want to put it in a ponytail every 2 minutes. I don't think that looks good. I think it needs to have like a style, because it's like gray and black, and I want to make sure people know I know what I'm doing with my hair. It's not like a big hot mess. But if you're gonna go gray, I would just say, just, you know, first stop dyeing your hair. I did ask if they could pull out the black, and they said it will turn orange. No, Nicole, we can't strip your hair. Plus it'll just ruin your hair. So I said, fine. Now, if it gets all gray, like too white, they said they could just do, or he said he could just put in some like low lights. So he can put in some darkness, just like some reverse highlights basically. So if you're going to go gray, I really encourage you girls, like it's really, I think it's a bigger deal than it really is. I mean, it's not fun being gray in your 30s, but now that I'm 40, I'm like, you know what? I embrace it. I think it's different. It's what my body wants to do. It's white, luckily. It's not yellow. And I'm just on this like roller coaster of some days I'm like, okay, I can deal. Some days I'm like, what's happened? Like, why are you so white? Like, what's happening? So it's hard, but it just goes with my philosophy of, embracing your beauty, whatever that is. I've said forever, it's freckles, it's a scar, it's a birthmark. I mean, this just happens to be what my story is turning into. And I just encourage you to just love yourself for your differences and things that you don't really expect to happen. I never expected this to happen ever. And I'm just kind of embracing it and just moving forward and trying to, work with the gray and how it wants to be, growing out. So that's it. That's really my journey. There's really nothing to it that besides I didn't plan for it. It just kind of happened and I've been just cutting it and trying to keep it a style and keep it so it's maintained. I don't do anything to it besides sometimes I will wash with the purple shampoo, but besides that I use Shuamora, the oil shampoo. I have to really hydrate my hair because of the gray now. It's a different texture. So I just do that. I use a flat iron sometimes. I curl it sometimes just to kind of give like keep the whiter parts out. So it's kind of like more of a highlight to my hair and that's it. So I hope that answered your question on my journey. I mean, it's just kind of like what I did and what was happening, and that's it. I'll see you in my next video. Bye.